Good evening, students. Welcome to 10th Standard Social. Today we are going to see a new lesson in Economics, Unit 1, Gross Domestic Product and its Growth and Introduction. Students, nowadays we can see three kinds of people in our society: rich people, middle class people, and poor people. How can we judge these peoples or belong to rich, middle, and poor? Their economic status only decide their category. Likewise, the countries in the world are also categorized into three types: developed nations, underdeveloping countries, and developing countries. Do you know India belongs to which category? Yes, developing countries. It is based on their national income, economic status. The economic status of every country is decided by their national income and gross domestic product. In this lesson, we are going to know about the meaning of gross domestic product, gross national product, what is national income, and the basic measures, various measures of national income, and the composition of gross domestic product and the different sectors in GDP. Let me see the introduction. To understand how the GDP tell us how India is doing, you should understand what GDP is. Imagine what happens in a hotel. You place an order for 2 idlis and a cup of tea. Someone makes the idlis and tea and someone serves you. Idlis and tea are produced. These goods are tangible, physical things. You can touch the goods and feel the goods. You can touch it and feel it. Economics call such tangible items goods. These goods are not free, but we have to pay. It should be paid. Though you don't realize it, in addition to these tangible things called goods, something else is being produced. The work done by the cook and the people who serves the food. The activity of cooking and serving is not something you can feel and touch. Such activities are not tangible, but nevertheless crucial for you to enjoy the food. We can see the idli, we can see the cup of tea, and we can touch the items, we can feel the items. But the cooking and serving food items, we couldn't touch that items. We can enjoy the activities. Economics calls such activities as services. What happens every day in a hotel at nationwide? Goods and services are produced and paid for, and this is what the GDP measures. The total goods and services are produced in the country and paid for the goods and services that we call GDP measures. Now we will see the definition of GDP. The GDP is a market value of all the final goods and services. You see here the market value of all the final goods and services produced in the country during a period of time. That time period, that is 1 year. The formula for GDP is C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Let me see one by one. C means consumption, usage. I means investment. And G means government expenditure. X export, M import. X minus mean export minus import. Every part of the definition is important. Goods and services, as we know already, goods are tangible, physical item. We can touch the items and feel the items. While services are activities which are intangible. Then market value. This is the final price of goods and services are sold in the market. Then final goods and services Economics Tyler Cohen and Alex Tabarrok say that final goods and services are the goods and services which will be used or consumed. The goods which are directly used by the people or consumed by the people, that goods only we call final goods. The goods and services which will be used for producing other goods and services and will form a part of the goods and services produced are called intermediate goods. The intermediate goods is nothing but if cotton is changed into cotton yarn, fiber. The people they want to use fiber. The fiber is again changed into cloth. The cloth only is the final product. The fiber is the intermediate product. We can calculate only the final goods in the GDP. Intermediate goods are not counted in the calculating the GDP because their value is included in the final goods also. If the intermediate goods are included in the GDP, it will result in double counting. For example, a cup of tea bought in a hotel is a final good because it is consumed. We are going to drink the tea. It's a final product and does not form a part of producing something. With the tea, we can't make any new things. The tea is a final product. So, the market value of a cup of tea being a final good is included in the GDP. Sugar, which is mixed in the tea, is an intermediate product because it is used in making tea and forms a part of tea served. Suppose the tea is price is rupees 10. The value of sugar used is rupees 2. So the price of cup of tea include rupees 2, the price of the spoon of a sugar. If this value of sugar is included in the GDP, it will be counted twice as a spoon of sugar and again as a part of cup of tea. This double counting and to avoid it, the intermediate goods like sugar are excluded from GDP. Now we will see what is meant national income. Important 2 mark questions, surely it will come for exam. National income is a measure of total value of goods and services produced by an economy over a period of time. Again I am telling, national income is a measure of the total money value of goods and service produced by a country over a period of time. That means normally a year. Commonly, national income is called as gross national product. So, gross national product is otherwise national income or national dividend. Now, we will see various terms associated with measuring of national income. We can calculate the national income in various methods. First, we take gross national product. Gross national product is the total value of goods and services produced and income received in a year by domestic resident of a country. Gross national product is the total value of goods and services produced and the income received by the domestic local people of a country. It includes profit earned from capital invested abroad. GNP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M plus NFIA. Already we know that one C means consumption, I means investment, G government expenditure, X minus M means export minus import. It also included because here the Indians they invested their money in foreign countries. We have to include that profit also. NFIA is equal to net factor income from abroad. And gross domestic product, we know that one, it is the total value of output. Output means goods and services produced by the factors of production within the geographical boundaries, within the countries, within the boundaries of the countries. This is we call GDP. What do you mean by factors of production? To start a production, we need some factors. like land, labor, money, that is capital, electricity, entrepreneur. These are the factors of production. The net national product (NNP), it is arrived by making some adjustment with regard to depreciation. Depreciation is nothing but tear and wear expenses. If we buy a new machine for our country, daily the machine is running, automatically the its spare parts began to tear. So one day we have to meet the expenses of the machine. That expenses we call depreciation. We arrive the net national product by deducting, by reducing, subtracting the value of depreciation from gross national product. So NNP is equal to gross national product minus depreciation. It's nothing but depreciation, the maintaining charges. Net domestic product, the same things. Net domestic product is a part of gross domestic product. It is obtained from gross domestic product by deducting the quantum of tear and wear expenses, that is depreciation charges. NDP is equal to GDP minus depreciation. Now the per capita income is a very important 2-mark questions. Depend upon the per capita income, we can divide the countries. It shows our economic status to the world. Per capita income or output per person is an indicator. It shows our living standard of a person. So per capita income, it clearly tells about the standard of people in the country. It is obtained by dividing the national income by population of a country. Very important 2-mark question, students. Note this one. How we can obtain per capita income? By dividing national income by population of a country. So per capita income is equal to national income by population. In 1867 to 68, for the first time, Dadabhai Naoroji had ascertained the per capita income in his book. Note this one. Poverty and Un-British Rule of India. So Poverty and Un-British Rule of India, that was written by Dadabhai Naoroji. In this book, he clearly mentioned about the per capita income. Next, personal income, that is individual income. Personal income is a total money income received by an individual and household of a country from all possible sources before direct taxes. Before we pay the tax to the government, what the income he received. Each and every individual, they are receiving some income. Then after that, they are paying money for their, depending upon their annual income. So before paying direct tax, the actual income, the income received by the individual is called personal income. Disposable income, it means the actual income which can be spent on consumption by individuals and families. The father, he received the monthly salary, and mother, he spent the money for her family expenditures. That is we call disposable income. Thus it can be expressed as DPI is equal to personal income minus direct taxes. From consumption side, direct income is equal to consumption expenditures from saving. Now we will see the gross domestic product produced in the country. GDP of a country include only the market value of goods and services produced in India only. For example, the market value of apple produced in the Kashmir is included in our GDP, since Kashmir is in India. The market value of apples produced in California, even if they are sold in Indian market, we won't include in our GDP because California is in USA. It is not belong to India. So what are the states within India? That product only included in the GDP. Then produced during a period of time. The GDP of a country measures the market value of goods and services produced only during the specific time period, that is 1 year. The goods and services produced in the early period are not included. The current period only we will include. In India, the GDP is measured both annually and quarterly. The annual GDP is for financial year which start from April 1 of say 2017 to March 31st of 2018. This is the period of time or financial year. The modern concept of GDP was first developed by Simon Kuznets for a US Congress report in 1934. Now we will see the important 5-mark question, method of GDP calculating. How we can calculate the GDP? We can calculate the GDP in 3 methods. Expenditure method, income approach, and value added approach. First we will see expenditure approach. In this method, the GDP is measured by adding the expenses of all the final goods and services produced in the country during a period of time. We are calculating all the expenditures of producing final goods and services during a period of time. Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. The income approach. This method looks at GDP from the perspective of the earnings of the men and women, the income received by all individuals who are involved in producing the goods and services. The income approach to measure GDP is wages plus rent plus interest plus profit. So we are calculating all the income of an individual. Then third method is value added approach. A cup of tea served to you in a hotel is a final good. The goods used to produce it, tea powder, milk and sugar. So for making tea, we need what are the raw materials? Tea powder, milk and sugar. These products are called intermediate goods. Since they form a part of the final goods, a cup of tea, one way to measure the market value of the cup of tea is to add the value produced by each intermediate goods used to produce it. The sum of the value added by all the intermediate goods used in the production gives us the total value of final goods produced in the economy. For example, you see here tea powder, milk, sugar, it gives tea. Like that value added method, the value of tea powder, the value of milk, the value of sugar, it gives the value of tea. The value of all intermediate goods is equal to value of final goods. This is value added method. It will come for 2 marks. Now we will see what is the use of GDP. Why we have to study GDP? Let me see its importance. To know our economic growth, country economic growth, we should study GDP. To know the problem of inflation and deflation. Inflation and deflation problem, we have to study GDP. To compare with the developed countries of the world, we have to know our GDP. To estimate our purchasing power and to study public sector and to guide future economic planning. For all these things, we have to know our GDP. Students, up to this, we will conclude the lesson. The remaining portions will be seen in the next class. Today, I will give some home assignment. You learn and write well. Thank you.